Good morning. Dr. Bob Flower here with your Monday, May 14th, Master Pattern Report. Okay, I'd like to start this program off a little differently than usual. I want to talk to you about something near and dear to my heart, and that is health and medicines and vitamins and things of this sort. Um, there's a couple of new books coming out or are out regarding good health and doing away with disease. Um, and there's one of them. I was reading a capsulation of the book um, regarding by an oncologist who states that things such as high heels, um, uh, vitamins, supplements, are things that we really shouldn't be involved with in order to stay cancer free. Um, Now, let me tell you, when I read things like this or when I research stuff, I always try and keep an open mind, regardless of how I am focused or where my interest or my belief system is. I always try and leave a little room uh, so that change can occur if the facts present themselves. I have for a long time been convinced that vitamins are not good for your health, and I'll tell you why. Uh, some years ago, I was diagnosed with a deadly blood disorder, and people, these health nuts, which my daughter is one of them. Oh, you got to take vitamin C, and you got to take vitamin E, and you got to take Genova, Genobal, and all kinds of stuff and whatnot. And I mean, you can go nuts with this stuff, especially people who are well intentioned and they're going to heal you. Um, so I started to take this stuff, and I really, I wasn't getting any better, and in fact, maybe I might have been getting a little worse. And then there was a study done on this particular blood disorder that I had in Italy regarding vitamin C. And recipients who were afflicted by the same disease, they were discovered that the vitamin C was actually feeding the disease. It wasn't curing it, it was feeding it. So the purpose of vitamins and supplements is to make you stronger. Give strength where you don't have it in your body, and to replenish. Um, but the disease doesn't know that. They look on that as replenishing their systems, their parasites. So I put a lot of credibility in statements of that type, and in fact, the cure that this particular oncologist was rendering was one baby aspirin tablet a day. And he felt that that would cure so many things, including moderating arthritis, which cancer, it seems, has to do with inflammation, infection, right? And that's why the high heels. Anything that really hurts your body and does so on a consistent basis is very apt to cause different types of cancers, all right? And of course, arthritis, when it gets really bad, can very well lead to it. So anyway, that's something that, like I said, is near and dear to me, and it's a word to the wise. Okay, let's move on from there. Right. The S&P down move, as well as the silver down move and the commodity down move, has manifested. It's about 10 days later than what if you remember, we had anticipated the end of April. Well, here we are last week. So we were about 10 days later on that call, but it's here. We think that the S&P will be down in the lower 1300s, and if it penetrates that level, c'est la vie, goodbye. It's really off to the races on the downside. So I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but it looks awfully real that that's the direction which we're going. So watch that 1310, 1315 level on the S&P. If it gets down around that area, we're in serious trouble. Not like we're not in serious trouble already, but the market has not been reflecting it. Silver, as we showed you the chart last week, and we still have it up on our website, the silver movement over the past 7 days has been exactly on that 45-degree line that we generated for you on that that site last week on the map that for the natural number. So go back to the website, take a look at that, and you'll see that there is no pattern interruption till you get down around the low 20s on silver. Okay, there's a brief one, a mild one around that $26 level, and if you remember 2 months ago we had said that we thought that silver would be down around 26. Well, it very well looks like that finally is coming to fruition, and there's a good chance that we're going to see silver around that low 20s area, 22, 23, 22.50, someplace in there. Now, if it were just gold and silver, I would say, well, this is a temporary thing, and it's only going to rebound at some point fairly quickly. However, let's look at oil, and I think the next week is going to tell us a big story with the commodities, especially gold and silver and oil. Oil has a downside here of around $70. In fact, I'll give you an exact number. If you hold on 1 second here. Yes, around $69. Okay. And there's a very real possibility that if it gets below 90, that we're going to see $70 oil. Okay. What's going on, and what do we expect from these commodities? What's going on is a very serious manifestation of deflation, which I've been saying right along is something that it has been going on and just simply has not manifested itself in our world yet. But the events with Greece and soon to be Portugal and Spain and certainly Ireland and conceivably Italy, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in a moment, is generating this mass deflationary move. And the deflation is occurring by the abolition of these loans that have been made by investors, European banks, the European Common Bank, which chances are not going to be paid back, or they're going to be paid back like pennies on the dollar by a reinstatement of the Greece drachma. So when loans are forfeited, you have tremendous loss of value, and that's exactly what's going on in the world. A lot of now we're hearing about the government considering doing away with, or at least moderating, student loans. That's an awfully big, big deflationary move. Um, you know, where does that money go? It goes into infinity, never to be seen again. And in many cases, that's your bond investments and company investments that you've made, that you're not going to see. You're not going to see anything again, or you're going to see a very low uh, uh, return of capital. So this we are beginning to see the manifestation of all of the things that everybody has said negative about this economy on a more pronounced and continuing basis. And we think it'll move up, it'll move down between now and the election. But there is so much pressure being put on forgiveness of the loans, forgiveness of these mortgages. Um, these are absolute losses that people and banks and institutions are are experiencing, and here we go. So this is something that you had better watch your investments. If you're in the market, get out. Unless you've got a lot of guts and you're willing to go seriously short here, I, I, I wouldn't I wouldn't be involved. I don't care how good these these stocks look or these commodities look, unless you have extra capital that you're willing to invest and sit with for a long time. Bonds, these TBTs. I mean, everybody's saying the bonds are going to go up, and sure, the interest rates are at some point in the near future they are going to go up. But you better be prepared to sit there for another year, maybe a year and a half before that happens. And if it happens, it more than likely will be an explosion to the upside. But then again, everything else will just blow off too. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on the commodities, in particular our silver and our oil, because we think that those are the two big players here that could drag everything else down even further, and perhaps present us with a good buying opportunity. But we want to see when it does hit these levels, what's going to happen from there. Because my feeling is that, and again, I'm using oil as a criteria here, and not silver or gold yet, because it's the most powerful commodity that we have in play. All right, so if that drops, there's not going to be a quote need or great interest in gold or silver for a while. I'm not going off my bullish stance on silver by no means, and this may be a good buying opportunity, okay? But maybe, perhaps, not just yet. Now, we've heard in the news certainly about Greece, and we've heard about Portugal and Ireland and conceivably Spain as to when this is going to happen. Spain has tremendous unemployment and a lot of unrest, and poor Portugal is getting its brains kicked in. But here's the thing. The one to watch out for is Italy. And the reason for that is this. Italy is the 5th largest industrial nation in the world. If the problems in Italy evolve to a higher level, I'm not saying the same level as Greece, but close to it, then you're going to see your commodities such as gold and silver just fly to the moon, okay? Because it will mean that everything else is going to take the hit, and that the deflation will will set in to an even greater degree. So the dollar gains strength to one degree, but then when that happens and that starts to go, then you have your commodities such as gold and silver and others moving into place. Okay, so let's keep an eye on it. We're going to report to you a little bit more on the on silver next week and oil, and we'll see how things are shaping up. But right now, those patterns, those resistance levels and patterns are non-existent below those given levels that I've indicated to you. Silver at perhaps around $26 before you see any meaningful bounce, somewhere in that area, and then down even lower. So keep your powder dry. Have patience. Patience is the most important thing. Don't get emotional about this. Get the hell out of the market for a while. It doesn't pay. I don't care, especially with the bonds, because that could happen at any time, any moment. Now, chances are the bonds will not see increase until after the election, but you never know with what's going on now. There's a lot of tremendous amount of desire to knock the current administration out of the box. And I'm going to tell you a true story about a major brokerage firm who has committed $30 million to the Romney campaign, and this should be coming out shortly. By the way, talking about Romney, I don't know how many of you know this, but there was a private meeting. I'm not going to call it secret. That would be a conspiracy. There was a private meeting just recently between Romney and the Paul campaign. I wonder what that's about. I wonder what's going on there. Do you think that it's simply a endorsement of Romney? That's it? You think that's all they were talking about? Let's keep an ear open, see where that goes. It couldn't possibly be that they were talking about the Treasury or something like that, could it? Nah, I don't think so. Couldn't be. In any event, have a great week, and we'll be back here next week to help you out.